Okay, here we go. Fish and chips. Mac food. Mike's American Classics. This is fish and chips. Salmon, wild-caught salmon, bought in Alaska from vitalchoice.com. Real good. Fish and chips. We got the fried potatoes going, and I started thinking, we got to get this on film, because we have a number of things going here. This is the classic coconut oil before we eat. A little step towards losing weight. I work up to about 2 tablespoons per day at the maximum over the years when I was losing a lot of weight. Then I cook the potatoes in coconut oil until it gets real dry. Then I substitute raw butter. Give it that extra flavor. But the key to today's dinner, the fish, the salmon, I'm going to bring that out in a minute, is the sauce. But this is petite fillets, they're called, from Vital Choice. So not cheap, they're expensive, but delicious and really good for you. By the way, as far as supplements, I was taking this for years, astaxanthin. It's a very potent antioxidant recommended by Dr. McCullough. Salmon is full of astaxanthin, so I really very rarely take this. I'd rather eat more salmon. It's delicious, especially with this sauce. I'm going to cut up the rest of these, and you can just chunk them any old way you like. To me, I like the little smaller pieces better. I'm going to throw these into the pan, and after they brown up a little bit with the butter coming next, I take about a half an hour or so to cook these potatoes. But this is one of the key cheat-to-eat principles, is cooking in bulk. Here we go again. I'm going to get a chunk of raw butter and place it in the middle here. This is what's really going to give its taste in the end. This and the onions. I'm going to cut up a pretty big onion and dice the onion, and that will go in last, just the last 5 or 10 minutes right prior to everything being done. So, if you focus on the food here, you'll see this one is being close to done here, as far as the butter and the nice brown chunks. This one I started a little later because Jacob just got here. I'm going to turn it back up a little bit. So, sizable portions. This is 5 big potatoes that we're going to have for a total of, what, 3 or 4 meals? So this is a key cooking in bulk to the cheat-to-eat program that we recommend. And it's delicious. So, for the secret sauce, take 1 tablespoon of mayonnaise, 1 tablespoon, Veganese is what I recommend from Whole Foods, sour cream, so we got 1 tablespoon of each, and then the equivalent of 1 tablespoon of chopped or shredded cheddar cheese. This is puts it all together. So, the original recipe from Stephanie's Secret Fish Sauce, was this with a bunch of spices. So my shortcut here is, ta-da, French onion soup, or French onion dip. Okay, this is all organic, and I use about 1/3 of a package. So this spices it up, and if it's a little too dry like this, just run back and get a little bit more of the wet stuff. Okay, mix it up, and we're going to take a little break. You're going to see this on the fish itself before I put it in the oven, toaster oven, a few minutes. Delicious. Another thing I want to mention too while I'm at it here, Food Saver. This is the best way to keep organic food from spoiling, okay? So we got the little Food Saver bag. Jacob's going to zoom in here in a minute and try to get the moisture out here, or the air I should say. Moisture sometimes when it's meat. And then this is a dandy here. You see all the air being evaporated out of that to the Food Saver bags. Nice, handy. This thing is $20 online. This is the portable Food Saver, Fresh Saver it's called. You can get it at Amazon or many other places. Back to the food. The salmon, these are petite salmon fillets. This is the sauce, Stephanie's Secret Sauce that we just talked about. No exact science on how you apply this. I just do it on one side and cook for, at 350 degrees, cook for maybe 15 to 20 minutes. You'll see when it's all nicely melted on the top. And there's enough here, again, cooking it in bulk. This is not a lot of bulk, but I always have enough for a fish sandwich the next day. Salmon sandwich. So So you're going to see this in a few minutes go in the oven. I like to eat at 6 o'clock. If you look at my clock right here, 5:15. Usually around 5:45, I break open the goodies, which is, let me show you a few things in the fridge here. Behind the raw dairy, you can see the fat at the top. This is in some of our other films. That's the delicious breakfast drink and lunch that I like. But behind it, I won't show Nikki's bad juice there, but this is the red wine that I like that's organic from Total Wines. This is a mixture, I guess it's the Cabernet, Merlot, and Shiraz it's called, and it's a red wine that's, I got in the habit of having a glass or two with my evening meal. Delicious. But while we're here at the fridge, let's look around here. Things that I have every day as far as lunches, olives, pickles you'll see here at the bottom. This is Whole Foods, the current kind of pickles we love. The kids love it. We've got some hard-boiled eggs in here somewhere. Kids love that too. Condiments, you can see in the background, ketchup, mustard, the mayonnaise we already showed. This is the raw butter versus Whole Foods version right here, Earth Balance. Some Greek dip and artichoke dip here. Nothing too lacking. Oh, here's my beer supply here. This is low carbs, 3 carbs per can. I've mentioned this once before. You could have a 12-pack if you drank that much in one evening for the equivalent of 36 carbs, which is about 1 slice of pizza. So I've mentioned before I'd rather forego the pizza and drink the beer. Not necessary in this diet. Here's the hard-boiled eggs and the bone broth. Here we go. This is a little bit lunch meat and cheeses. Again, you see the food saver bag wrapping up these. The ham, the cheese, always food saver bags are used continually. Makes your food product last much longer than it would otherwise. This says Kraft Deluxe. So we grew up eating grilled cheeses and loving the Kraft cheese, but it's not organic. This is organic from Whole Foods. I forget the name of the company. You remember the name of the company? But it'd be on that Whole Foods video also. When I have to, I buy my eggs from Whole Foods. I get the most expensive I can find there. That's basically make sure they're pastured and at least free range. Preferably, I get it from Seabreeze Organic Farms. They deliver organic foods to us, and the eggs are just absolutely delicious. Ready for the fish to go into the oven. I set this at 350. Toaster oven is something we use daily for just about everything. One of the best appliances you can buy. We're going to put the fish as described in there now. We see it's 520. We'll come back in 20 minutes and we'll see the finished delicious product. Back to the final touches here. We're going to take the fish out of the oven in just a minute, but I want to get the onions here. Now, I am not the best chopper of onions, but this is the way I do it. And I hope to get a little device. So, this is the way I dice an onion. If I don't cut my finger off here in the process, we're doing good. The finer the better. And I leave some of them a little bit bigger. So, what we're going to do is combine these. Now, this might not be the best technique, but this is Mike's technique. Mike's American Classic Fish and Chips. Combine all the potatoes in the end. Turn them down a little bit. Get the real butter going here. Pretty good sized chunk for the onions. So we're going to brown up the onions real quick. Add them to the potatoes, mix them all together, add a little salt and pepper, and we'll be done. And that's enough for, 2 or 3 meals at least. Checking on the fish here. Another handy gadget you want to use when you get to cooking. This was just bought at CVS, by the way. The old glove. So this is being very close to done. You can see the cheese melted, and this sauce is absolutely delicious. I do add salt and pepper for the most part, but another thing I do add, organic lime, and I like to add that along with the salt and pepper, but this cheese sauce makes this salmon so delicious. I see my wife in the background. Can you tell the people how much you love it, Bubba?
Yeah, it's very good.
It's very good. Speak up.
Very good.
Excellent.
Excellent.
And she's not a big fish eater.
I love fish. Salmon was never my fish. but this salmon is very good.
Because of the sauce, Stephanie's sauce.
Yeah.
So that's the creme de la creme, or however you want to say it, the really extra bonus for that sauce. Thank you, Stephanie. My wife said, turn it off. This was set at 2 minutes just so I could run outside, keep the onions and the potatoes going and not burn them. So a timer on your phone is essential to cooking. I use this all the time. I was telling Jacob it really helps with the barbecue, because when you have some things that the oil or the grease and you got the cover down, you're going to want to know when 5 minutes is up to make sure you don't burn the crap out of everything. So let's finish with the potatoes and onions. This is the final touch. And we'll take the fish out one more time before consumption. So again, this is the way I do it. You can see, and by the way, I love these overdone chunky parts, like the crust of the baked potato or the fried potatoes. Put them in. I'm going to mix them up real good. Turn the flame off. And I think you can probably envision the rest here prior to enjoying this meal. Great American classic, or in this case maybe British English as far as fish and chips. And I like extra onions. Peggy doesn't like them as much, so I can scoop out more with the onions, and she can try to scoop less of the onions. She's the same way too when it comes to mushrooms. And I love mushrooms mixed in with a lot of things, and she does not. Sorry, Bubs. Whoa! This looks really good. So this is ready. Let me put this on the right way. This is ready. You can see where it's a little browning at the top. You take it out, let it cool off a tad before convening. If you take a look at the clock again, timing it perfectly again for a 6 o'clock meal. I believe in the 10, 2, and 6 regimen. That's an 8-hour period of eating food. It can, and it's essential, that's another part of intermittent fasting. When you think about it, the last meal at 6, next morning, not until 10 o'clock. Do the math, that's what, about 16 hours. So, have a great day. We'll talk more about intermittent fasting and other things at another time. Bye!